Hello everyone, I'm Bruce Pridey, Managing Director of Smarti Environmental Limited. The video you're about to see highlights keynote speeches from the Smarti Environmental Limited Summit that we held on the 10th of October 2024. The video firstly provides important information on the looming worldwide water security crisis. The next section is from our research and development team. It will highlight the patents and product development that we've been working on to deal with climate and water security issues. The section following is from our sales and marketing team. It is a short presentation from our sales team ladies who will highlight the companies that have already taken up the technology and the key opportunities that exist going forwards. This will reinforce how the range of products that we've developed will assist in reducing CO2 emissions, save potable water, reduce infection transmission, reduce overhead costs in terms of water and maintenance. So, please watch and enjoy.
The wars of the 20th century were fought over oil. The wars of the 21st century, however, will be fought over water. Water shortages are no longer a distant threat. Experts project that 5 billion people, 52% of the world's population, will live in water-stressed regions within the next 25 years. From California to Cape Town, from Mexico City to Australia, entire regions are feeling the pressure as aquifers collapse, vital reservoirs dry up, and water becomes more scarce. Even here in the UK, water stress is a growing concern. London receives half the rainfall of New York City and risks running out of water within 25 years. Recent floods don't solve the underlying issue. With the change in climate, the land has become less absorbent and much of this water is lost. The result? Boom and bust water cycles that fail to replenish the resources we depend on. Climate change, overconsumption and population growth are pushing our water systems to the brink. In the UK, our outdated water infrastructure is exacerbating the problem. It's no longer enough to rely on predictable rainfall. The systems we have are failing to capture the water we need. Businesses, in particular, will be hit hard. Water costs will rise as utility companies struggle to maintain aging infrastructure. And increasingly, penalties will be levied against those who fail to actively conserve this vital resource. Corporate social responsibility is no longer just a buzzword, it's a lifeline. For companies, adopting water-saving measures is essential to remain competitive and to limit exposure to rising costs. As James Bevan, former chief executive of the Environmental Agency, observes, wasting water is set to be as socially unacceptable as blowing smoke in the face of a baby. In 20 to 25 years, we will reach the jaws of death, the point at which, unless we take action now, we will not have enough water to supply our needs. Part of the solution lies in water-free technologies like Smarti. By reducing water waste, businesses can take a step toward a more sustainable future, saving money and resources. Water is the lifeblood of our planet. With solutions like Smarti, we can turn the tide, but only if we act now.
We've been working on our own development now we started about 7 years ago with a distribution product. So we started with this product, which I've just hold up very briefly. It's a single dry valve. It has some product in the top, which actually is paraffin and wax, and it has one little diaphragm valve in the bottom. That's what it is. It flows quite quickly, and that's the product we started with. We also were introduced to this product now. Bruce didn't mention the guys, but we do have also our Danish distribution partners here today, and a lot of the rest of the world. Falco, which is the US company, manufactured this product first. It's heavily outlet veneered. It doesn't use a diaphragm valve, and it contains inside of it, I'm sorry, ladies, all of the urine during the process, and it becomes known as toxic waste, so you can't necessarily recycle it properly. This is a wet valve, so this is the old technology. So the whole point of trying to come up with our own patent, to be awarded a patent, we're looking for 3 individual points of difference to all of the other technology and to improve those products. So we have 3 major points. So this is our product. This is the Vortex Eco TSV valve. TSV is for triple, twin, or trough valve. So the 3 points of difference. Number 1, we have the Vortex top. So our product contains in here no paraffin, no wax, but a multiple formulation of enzyme and bacteria. And this is a unique product formulation to ourselves. And we also accelerate the flow of liquid. We do that in the horizontal plane. The university and I did that together with computational flow dynamics is the posh word, but it means that by the time the urine is leaving the bowl, it's traveling at 4 times the velocity as it was when it went in, unless you've been to the pub and had 4 or 5 pints of beer. Who knows what's happening? Then we come to the second point of difference. This has 1 valve in it. If that valve fails, it stays open. The battery smells. If that valve blocks, it completely blocks. There's no opportunity for the product or the liquid to leave. We have multiple valves for different reasons. So we have a single valve, a twin valve, or a triple valve. So our patent is centered around the fact that we can have different valves for different environments. And then the final part is, again, there's nothing below here. There's nothing helping treat what's happening in the pipework. Whereas our valve has, put it out of here, probably suitable to see here, but on the picture, it has a cradle. And in the cradle is a pipe pod. The pipe pod itself, again, unique formulation, and that is dosing on a highly concentrated way, the pipework itself. So, as we said, simple numbers. We have 3 different solutions, but it's exactly the same valve. 3, 2, 1. The first valve, number 3, we call our hygiene valve. The standard valve is everywhere else. Number 2, it's all the same product. It's just Perez team have to put 1, 2, or 3 together in that process. And then the final one, the trough valve. So we're going to tell you about my customers today and about the idea of stadiums. So we need to get a lot of liquid when there's a lot of guys using this particular product. So what do we achieve? If you do not flush water down a urinal, on average you save 100,000 litres of water per year. The cost of that water at the moment, on average, is about £3.50 per cubic metre in the UK. Now, Bruce will tell you later how that is really stressed, and that cost is going up and up and up and up. Where we are, the shock is we pay £6.78 per cubic metre because of all of our coastline. So all of the companies in this environment are paying double the national average already. So what do we achieve? The associated carbon is 100 kilograms that goes with that 500,000 litres. We're reducing all of the airborne spread. COVID taught us this, and COVID actually came, the positivity of COVID in a way for ourselves was that people realised that flushing the urinal, the airborne spores and all of that bacteria gets moved around the bathroom. So you probably guys saw during COVID there'd be one urinal with a big yellow cross that you couldn't use. That's because of the airborne spread. In terms of a new stat for us, we didn't realise this until this last year, but Aston Villa particularly, if we use them as a testimonial, not only did they save 50 to 75% of their cost of water, they actually saved the same amount for their maintenance. And in some environments, we were just talking about it a bit earlier, one big pub chain, they've saved 95% of their maintenance costs because a waterless urinal fitted properly, working properly, doesn't block, doesn't need attendance. You don't have to take it off the wall. You don't have to take all the panels off and get all the pipes out again. 95% Aston Villa saved on their maintenance in 1 year. Huge, huge cost. So we have a product that fits globally. So our product fits in 50 mil, 40 mil, 32 mil. It even fits these holes. But overall, it's simple to do, quick to achieve. This slide here. So I said there were 133 patents. The truth is there are only 5 competitors that have any market reach and depth. And so Falcon, they are the big American company Bruce talked about. That's where we cut our teeth, if you like. That's where we learned about the industry. We've talked about their product. Aquafree, Sanispeak, and Euromat, very similar. Euromat on the very end, they require a specific valve, so the cost to change is massive. So most people don't want to change the Urana bowl itself. Whiffaway, I think, are probably the biggest competitor we have. So Whiffaway are part of the Sir Robert McAlpine family. James and his team are desperately looking at what we're doing all the time. They've been around for a long time. And the truth is, and maybe Kimberly could tell you a little bit about that in a minute, the truth is their product doesn't necessarily work, despite all of their infrastructure, because they haven't understood the science. So, does it stop there? We're developing all the time, and with Perry and his team, we have a manufacturing capability here. So we've been asked for a splash guard. Apparently, some of you guys aren't aiming the right places, so we put together a little water-free splash guard. On top of that, I talked about all that urine going through Aston Villa. We've actually added a little unique airflow system, which means that it's accelerating by 4 more times on top of where we are. The Smart Pipe Excel. So we're looking at how we deal with not just the male side of life, but we put the technology into the female bathroom, but not actually at the WC side, but at the pipe side. And then grease traps. Because our team are on site, team are doing a lot of drainage and CCTV work. Grease traps themselves are a desperate product that needs to be redesigned. So we're looking at how we bring that into our environmental plan. And then, as you say, a smart WC for ladies' restrooms as well. So that's where we are today. It's all manufactured. It's all available now. As I say, the valve in the middle, the adapters that we owe, the urinals, that if you want to have any urinal, you can. That we're working with our Danish partner on that particular urinal. All of the SteriClean made in the UK.
So we actually manufacture this product in the UK. 2 reasons. A, because we can, and B, a lot of the clientele that are advanced in this sort of area are very concerned about their carbon footprint, their carbon cost. So our competitors get their product made in China, shipped over, and immediately you've got a carbon cost to doing that.
So that leads us into just a few of our customers, and I'll talk you through them. These are ones that I've managed to kind of win, and moving forward to what we're going to do. So the NHS, I always say to my customers that if you can use the NHS, if the NHS will use us and work with us, why wouldn't you? They're kind of, there's so much that you have to be able to go through to work with them and procurement. So if they can trust us, why can't you? Then we have National Express. National Express is such a big one. And I love working with National Express because when I first started working with them, they were very much like, we don't believe in water free, we don't want to use it. And now I get invited to their Christmas parties because they love the product so much. And they've kind of rolled it out. They are one of my favourite customers. And then we have Aston Villa, who Martin has spoken about. And we've had to come up with so many different products for them, and we've worked with them really closely. So they're a great company.
So as Kimberly has said to you, we've actually had quite a lot of great clients already with great contracts, and we're going to try and expand that both in the UK and globally. Obviously, Kimberly's going to be looking after things globally. I'm based in the UK, but we'll be working together to make this a reality, because if there's one thing I've discovered about with the company so far, that is how things work. Everybody works together to bring Smarty to the public attention. So obviously with the success at Aston Villa, we are going to be trying to push this out through more stadia, thanks to Martin, who made so many great innovations to make the product work with a trough. We're now in a really strong position to do this. So that is very much a plan. Education as well. Schools, both the private and the public sector. There's a lot of urinals in there, a lot of concern, especially since COVID, about infection control within schools as well. So it's a really good place for us to be pushing forward to next. Hospitality is an obvious one. hospitality, the urinals get a lot of traffic. They get pretty revolting. They don't reflect well on the companies themselves when the things get backed up. So really, we are, well, it should be a shoo-in for them. And healthcare, as Kimberly said, the NHS trusts us. The NHS trusts us because of our triple valve, which has been added to make sure there is absolutely no infection spread. You know, water is a terrible, terrible transmitter of disease, and by eliminating the water, we will be able to control infection spread. Corporate, loads of offices around the country, all of them with urinals, all of them, again, with a look to maintain. Factories and building sites, again, an obvious one. We are a factory-heavy country. We have lots of them all over the country, and all of them have urinals that, again, are getting very, very heavy traffic every day. And service stations, this was one sort of recently, because I thought how horrible most service station toilets are, you know, and absolutely revolting. Well, this is a really good way for them to up their look. So many of them now are going into more like the boutique look, you know, this is a shopping station for you. It's not just grab your fuel and go anymore. And if the toilets are letting them down, I think we're a great solution for them. So, and many, many more. I mean, really, the possibilities for Smarti are endless. You know, this is the right product at the right time. And I think that going forward, we've got an absolutely amazing team, and we can only make this an absolutely amazing company.
Denmark's a really interesting place. Denmark's got a 5 million population, beautiful country, where these guys live in Sonderburg. I have to tell you, the place is beautiful, so clean, no rubbish anywhere, it's beautiful. The bit that struck me is the way they recycle and the way they're so far ahead on this sustainability. It's 5 million people, but they live in such a clean environment, which I think is an example as to why sustainability's got to come along. I mean, it's staggering how far forward they've come. Now, in terms of waterless urinals, shout me down if I get the numbers wrong. In Denmark, 95% of urinals, male urinals in Denmark are water-free. In the public sector, where there's a significant number of urinals, 100% of the public sector in Denmark are water-free. They don't flush male urinals with water, because as Martin told you, adding water to male urine because of the proteins is badness. You end up with huge maintenance costs. And flushing potable water down a urinal is utterly stupid in terms of carbon cost. I hope this has given you an understanding of what we're trying to do at Smarti. Our products in terms of promoting cleanliness, health and safety, climate protection, sustainability. If you need any further information, please get hold of our team. Again, thank you for watching, and we're going to finish with a small cameo video that will pull it all together for you. Thank you.
Every living thing on the planet needs water. And what do we do with a considerable amount of this most precious resource? In fact, in the UK alone, at a minimum, 830 urinals flush pure, drinkable fresh water down the drain every second of the day. That means, in the time it'll take you to watch this video, over 50,000 urinals will have flushed almost 25 million litres of water into our overcapacity sewage system. Just in the UK, carbon emissions generated from flushing urinals is calculated to be just under 375,000 tonnes per year, with the cost to business for water alone standing at 760 million per year. And independent scientific studies have confirmed that flushing urinals are responsible for spreading infection and disease by generating aerosols, the same way COVID, influenza, and norovirus can be transmitted. From a macro global perspective, we simply can't continue to waste water in the way we do today. Experts project 5 billion people, at least 52% of the world's population, will be living in water-stressed regions by 2050. All combined, the scale of waste and damage caused by misuse of water arguably amounts to environmental and economic vandalism. We say this madness must stop. Smarti Environmental's fully waterless urinal technology utilizes existing plumbing infrastructure, making it a highly affordable retrofit solution. Patented enzyme-based recyclable valves sterilize urine, neutralize odors, and prevent pipe blockages that occur when water and urine combine. Importantly though, Smarti Environmental's technology allows washroom managers to remove all water supply to urinals. When we say zero water needed, we mean zero water needed. With 3.5 million urinals alone in the UK and many multiples more across the world, the scale of the challenge is vast, but the potential benefits are huge. Smarti Environmental, working to save water, cut carbon, reduce costs, and control infection.